We've unearthed plenty of fun following the historic Bridle Track north of Bathurst in western New South Wales. We've got muddy, crossed a few rivers and given our rigs some steep, stretchy climbs. We're finding a haul of four-wheel drive treasure in Gold Rush country. Gold fever lives on today in prospectors like Justin Cleghorn from Australian Detectorist in Newcastle. You won't find a more passionate prospector.
We know that there was the massive gold fever back in the 1860s and all that sort of stuff. Does that still exist now?
Mate, very much so, Pat. Gold fever, and it's very hard to explain to someone that hasn't, I suppose, dug up some gold. The thrill of finding a little tiny speck of gold to some people can overwhelm them and take over their lives, and it has done for hundreds, if not thousands of years. It's not new, and it's certainly not going away.
In fact, with gold prices going so strong, more and more hopefuls are trying their luck. Which brings us to Cleggie's 6 top tips for striking it rich.
The number one tip would be research how close you live to a gold field and start your prospecting at home. So look up some of the gold history in your area if you're in a gold bearing area or a gold bearing area close by. And check out some of the government sites for mapping, permit requirements and that sort of thing. Get all your paperwork and where you want to go worked out before you leave home. Tip number 2, Pat, would be to buy a machine to suit the metal detecting that you want to do. So if you're going to spend a lot of time in the gold fields, go and see your local metal detector supplier and get a dedicated gold machine. If you also like doing other sorts of metal detecting, there are also machines that will find gold and are also great for things like coins and relics and stuff like that too. Tip number 3, Pat, is every metal detector, there's a couple of things that are going to, I suppose, make your metal detector not detect metal. That's environmental interference, so the things that run our mobile phones and things like that, and also ground interference, so ground minerals, ironstone, things like that. Each metal detector comes with a startup procedure to help eliminate those things, to leave the metal behind so we can go through and dig it up. Tip 4, Pat's to avoid, I guess, the classic beginner's mistakes. Steel cap footwear. You're going to have to take your wedding ring off and put it somewhere safely because all those things will activate your metal detector, and it's very hard to locate a piece of metal when you're wearing it on your hand or you've got it covering your feet. Leave the metal shoes and the metal jewellery at least in the car, preferably at home. Tip 5, strangely enough, Pat, is put your metal detector on the ground. The biggest mistake I see people make out in the gold fields is waving their metal detector up off the ground. We actually want to put this thing down right on top of the ground and skim as close to and follow the contours of the ground so that we don't miss any gold.
Yeah, right, and you're not going to damage it at all?
Absolutely not. It actually comes with a plastic skid plate on here. That's a sacrificial item, so as you wear these out, you pop them off, pop on a new one and start grinding that one into the ground as well.
That's a bit like Wes and that Everest that's got a plastic skid plate and he's been damaging it mercilessly. He doesn't care about it.
Yeah. Can you just snap a new one on and continue on your way?
I wish you could,
That's
yeah.
Excellent. And my final tip, Pat, is to look after your metal detector. So when you finish detecting for the day, we spoke about the skid plate before, take that off, empty out any dirt and stuff, give the coil a nice little wipe over, put the skid plate back on, make sure any dirt and dust is out of the speakers, out of the controls. With these waterproof models, you can even just give them a quick wash down in the creek, and never leave your batteries in your machine. Always take your batteries out while you're storing it in the garage or in the shed or wherever it lives.
Mate, that's bloody fantastic. I'm keen to have a go now.
So, armed with our newfound knowledge, Wes and I got to work under the watchful eye of Cleggie. Just a couple of millionaires in the making. For about an hour, we tried some gold detecting. There was a bit of beeping and a bit of digging, but no eureka moments.
Couple of little pellets for me.
What are that, shotgun, mate?
Little shotgun pellets, mate, yeah. Someone shooting dinner and missed.
I got a bit of tin. So, alright, I think it's worth much, really. I bet you both. I got a 22 shell. It's got to be worth a lot of money.
It's a lot shinier than ours.
I got chatting to some of the locals in Sofala about four-wheel drive tracks, and they said that in their opinion the best track is one called Wallaby Rocks to Coles Bridge. I've never heard of that one before, but I jumped onto the HEMA Explorer, had a look, and sure enough it was there, so we are going to check it out. This track is not much more than scratchy tyre marks through patchy grass, but they eventually lead us to a sharp V-shaped ditch. Whoa, just slipping down here. Sometimes hill descent control is not slow enough, and you've really just got to walk it down little steps on brakes. The reason why we do that is because we want the suspension to be at full extension, full height when you're dropping down over steps rather than bouncing and banging over things. And now a little push back up the hill. This is a proper adventure. Wes has taken a slightly different line and has run out of approach angle, lightly kissing the ARB bar on the way out.
Oh. Nailed it. No scratchy, no scrapey. Yes.
With that behind us, the track heads uphill and ends in disappointment. Uh-oh, this does not look good. At a gate. Locked and locked. What a shame. When you get that local knowledge, you think it's going to be open. It was on HEMA Explorer and it was on Google Maps that this is the track that runs straight through there. And sometimes, guys, when you come up across these sort of situations, it's very tempting to take the law into your own hands, cut locks, do whatever, and drive straight through, but never a good idea. I mean, bad situation, you could hear a rifle crack if you go over the other side. But also, you know, we don't know the local laws for this block of dirt. We may have taken a wrong turn off and come in on a track that has been closed for years. There may be an alternate track. This obviously hasn't seen a heap of traffic. So yeah, just always play it safe and just take that as an opportunity just to do a little bit more research rather than barging through a locked gate. Next. This is why you buy a four-wheel drive, folks. Some gorgeous river runs. And we deliver a bit of fun with our Ford Everest.
Are you kidding? Are you joking? No, better than I can park.
Later, going where we've never gone before. And we'll just grind our way up this. And during the break, be sure to check out the Mr. 4x4 app. With 14 years of 4x4 journeys, it's the resource you need for your next 4x4 adventure. Start your free trial today.